Let me get this for a second. Oh, well, welcome again. In case that you haven't watched my videos, yeah, of course, I'm a small YouTuber. I'm Homer, and this is going to be the series called Nerd Going Otaku. If you want the description on why this series exists, it's on the description. But in a nutshell, it's about a nerd. It's a nerd, going to somehow analyze and criticize some points and inconsistencies in an anime because, you know, otakus nowadays consider themselves as a separate entity to nerds, whereas it's completely wrong. Otaku is just the Japanese term for nerd. So there's that. Anyway, I'm going to this off with a new fad in the anime community called Shingeki no Kyojin, or if you're not a Nihongo speaker like me, of course, it will be Attack on Titan. Mm, excuse me for that. Well, in this case, it's great and all to have to have these kinds of conspiracies. Like there are humans can actually transform into titans, and the people from the people from on higher power on Volchino knows it outside of Jaeger, and there are actually titans that can transform to humans and assimilate themselves within the community without people noticing it at all. But for me, there are three red flags for me when it comes to these anime because you're fighting. Basically, my point is you're fighting for survival here, and you need every advantage that you think you can get for waging this war because you're not fighting for land anymore. You're not fighting for territory. You're not fighting for independence anymore. This is fighting for existence. Number one will be technology. 107 years. In 107 years, we can actually develop such technologies like look at their cannons. For instance, just look at their cannons. It's like the fusion of Bombard meets the Napoleonic cannons. You know, the Napoleonic cannons used to pre American Civil War. Of course, the Napoleonic Wars too. The cannons like that are really inaccurate. Sure, the cannonballs are so big, but they're not as powerful as you see. You see, when it comes to firepower, especially cannons, there are three things that can actually um, there are three actual factors for me in order for your cannon to be effective. It is um, to be accurate. Of course, accuracy means firepower because you can channel it up. The structure, of course, on how you know the riflings and the loading time. But in this case, the cannons of Shingeki no Kyojin takes 20 to 30 minutes, 30 seconds to reload. Seconds, not minutes. Seconds to reload. And 30 seconds when you know that the enemies are especially titans who have strides that are really long, that 30 seconds will actually spell death to you. Whereas if you can reduce it to like 10, 15, 20, you're good. Because you can actually bail out as soon as the titan approaches you and, eats you alive. And so as with their pistol blades, because their handles are like pistols and they're just drawing it like, like Jesse James or Annie Oakley or Calamity Jane. The problem with the blades, as they have it, is they break easily. It's like a few slashes, then they'll break, and they seem to haven't gone to the point that they actually have to think of making these steels more sturdy and more efficient in slashing. So when a soldier actually is carrying it on his 3D maneuver gear, it's not going to compromise his weight whatsoever. And that's another thing. It's another thing. The 3D maneuver gear, the only thing that can actually get a soldier into Titan's nape to slash it. The problem with the 3D maneuver gear, it's really good, but okay. you're 102, 107 years in there, and you know that some point or another, you need to somehow modify the 3D maneuver gear because it's the only way that you can actually reach the Titan's weak spot and actually kill it. But none has happened. Like making it more fuel efficient, make it lighter, making the wires to handle a more pressure or more force to actually get stick to a building or stick to Titan in order to slash them, or make another modification specializes for only specific for the reconnaissance, aka the survey corps, because they're in an open battlefield. And the first thing that I really saw on the first expedition, depicted on on the anime, the first expedition that is, well, that's like the 56th expedition, 55th, I don't know. And that really raises a red flag to me. This is supposed to be the special force, the spec ops of the human race, but they don't have any special equipment whatsoever because open field. You don't have any advantages there. You don't have any buildings to cling on or something, or something. You're just going to cling on the Titans, and that is the first red flag for me. Second will be tactics. Well, when it comes to tactics, the two like two key events that really gave Shingeki no Kyojin a thumbs up is actually um, Commander Irwin's from the Reconnaissance Corps, and how they will somehow evade to know and what to do when the Titans are actually under 6 o'clock, meaning they're attacking, or for like the colored signal players, and of course Commander Dot takes, of course, with the help of the wildcard Eren, saying that we have to close the gate because it's okay. Sure, they have many losses there, and in this anime, every human counts, every manpower counts, but still, it's a strategic total victory nonetheless. And this really begs the question: why, of all the things that they know the place well, they know their fortifications well, but they can actually have uh, a very simple, effective tactics in order to fend off the Titans without the wild card L in the first place. Because back in Wall Maria and also in Frost, when the Titans almost actually penetrated to Wall Rose, they actually implemented the reverse version of the human wave tactic implemented by the Allies and the Allies in World War I, and the Japanese Imperial Army in World War II, which which means instead of going forward, they're actually going backward. Means this is going to be the front line with all the Titans. In case that the front line dies, you'll go to Vanguard, which will be the middle guard, of course. The middle guard. If this fails, the rear guard will actually go past the wall in order for them to go to safety. Reverse human wave tactic. Remember in World War I, they were that the Allies actually have to sacrifice lives in order to get an inch, just an inch, due to front lines fortified by the Germans, but eventually fall in November 18, 1911 at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? And those things are actually that is actually showing the third and the most important thing, the one that intertwines all of the things coming together: mindset. 102 years we haven't been invaded by the Titans. Sure, You're going to say that 102 years we have to live peacefully. No, that's actually a petty excuse if you ask me, because um, Israel, Israel is always wary about their neighboring countries that they will attack them very soon. You remember Yom Kippur and October War, of course, the 6 Day War also. If they have the same mindset as these people that we've been living in peace for 102 years, why should we bother uh, getting being wary? If they have that mindset, Israel's already gone for good. But okay, sure, you have to calm the populace that hey, there's nothing going to happen. It's fine. But you always have to remind also that there any minute from now there will be trouble. Trouble, I mean, titans are going to penetrate the walls, and you have to do what you have to do. This and whereas for the soldiers, they have to realize now that they were trained to be on that ground. It's said on Sun Tzu's Art of War, soldiers fight better, fight with all of their might, all of their strength, and all of their mind in that ground. They give it all because you know that you have nowhere to run. In that anime, you're totally encaged in that wall, and you cannot. You have nowhere to run. You have nowhere to hide. And Commander Erwin Commander Erwin from the Recon Corps and Commander Pixies from the Wall Defense Corps said it beautifully. When Commander Erwin said that for those anyone who will join the Recon Corps, I'm not going to assure you your life because there is a 70% mortality rate in this group. We cannot assure you that you'll live. And Commander Pixies, when there was a soldier saying that I want to get home, I don't want to fight anymore, Commander Pixies said, "Okay, do not fight, but we will offer your families, your friends, your lovers to the Titans." Because Commander Pixies knows what are stakes. This is not landmass anymore, people. This is not independence. This is humankind's existence. People have to realize that they are in danger every time. You can say, "Yo, you've been living for 200 years in peace." No, 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 no. That's dookie. No, you don't do that reason. You're in a fortification, remember? You're in a fortification. And that means you're in a really grave danger. You get what I'm saying? Okay, then for my final remark, yeah, you might say it's a nitpick, but it has to be said. It's turning to be a great anime and all, but I see it as Naruto 2.0. But just hear me out. It's not I'm bashing it. It's just an honest analysis from a nerd who actually watches a few anime now and then, but because I have RPGs to play. But anyway, just drop a comment there or send a PM right there or Skype ID right there. I don't mind. Anyway, this is Homer, and do you want crackers or do you want soft drinks? Ball. That's how we roll. Anyway, see you later.